Բարի երգո սիրելի բարեկամներ։ Այսօրվա մեր հայրակիրը քաղաքական հարց է, քաղաքական հարցը local politics-ն է, հատկապես Los Angeles City-ին։ Եվ մեր հյուրն այսօր բարոն Ալնաջարը, որպես City Council-ի Valley շրջանին գվազեգոր։ I should have said, how are you in Armenian, but բարի եկաք։
Thank you very much.
Welcome to my show. We'd like to get a little bit background about yourself because I just introduced you in Armenian that you're running for City Council for the city of LA.
Yes, and thank you for having me on the show. It's an honor to be here with you. I'm Asaad Alnajjar. I'm a program engineer at the City of Los Angeles Bureau of Street Lighting. And I've been with the City of LA over 30 years now. And at this time, I figured it's the right moment for me and time to re-engineer the district and approach the council, the City of LA Council, from engineering perspective, and that's why I'm running where I live in Council District 12, which is the north portion of the valley.
There is no engineers on the City Council currently?
At this time, there is no engineers, and I believe we have never had any engineers.
We had only politicians.
Only politicians, and I feel this is the right time for change. So because we're having a lot of problems and our council people are trying their best. Some of them are delivering 110%. But the nature of the problems, the requirement for the solutions needs beyond what they can deliver. And this is where I'm coming in, so that starting with Council District 12, where I live, and hopefully along the line, take it citywide.
I know your background is engineering, but isn't that a big step, going from engineer to be a politician and run for city council seat? Which could be a stepping stone to a higher office one day.
Yes, and what it is, I'm blessed where I am at my work. My director, Ms. Norma Isahakian, have been getting me involved in dealing more with the mayor's office, especially Mayor's Garcetti office, and serving all the 15 councilmen. I served most of them in the past 30 years. However, the last 7 years, I've been active with all the council office. So in a way, I'm an engineer with some politician experience. And at the same time, I represent my bureau at the courts, being one of the persons most knowledgeable at the City of LA.
Who's the current incumbent?
Mr. John Lee.
And he's new, right?
Yes.
Barely been there a year?
No, less than a year.
Less than a year. Okay.
He won the special elections in mid-August, and he's been in office from early September through now, so almost 2 months.
Mm-hmm. And you're running against him?
Yes.
What are you going to bring different than what he's doing, let's say? Can you give us a little bit agenda on your plan?
I have my first 100 days.
100 days, let's say.
My first 100 days is to tackle the most important 10 points that I feel our district needs immediate attention.
What are these 10 points?
The first one,
give us a flavor of it, let's say.
The first one, which is citywide or nationwide, more of like, is the homeless.
Which is a huge problem, not only in your district, the city, and maybe the whole California.
Right, and I've been active with the mayor's office from the engineering perspective in the Bridge Home program, in which the areas where councilmen come to us, the engineers with the locations, we engineer buildings to house the homeless on a temporary 90-day cycle until we find a permanent location for them.
But what are these buildings? I have not seen it. We still have a lot of homeless people on the streets, especially when you drive under past freeways. I mean, you see them everywhere in the city.
Right. So the buildings are designed in a way where the first 90 days we try to separate the homeless with the mentally illness, and there is the veterans, and there is the ones with drug addicts, or there is the ones purely just woke up and lost it all, lost their job, lost their family. Some of
So
them
it
lost
became
their
on the
loved
streets,
ones.
yeah.
Right. But back to my district, if you go now to the live data we have on the website, A Bridge Home, CD12 have zero participation. It's the only district that had not come out with a location or a solution that can be presented to the community. The other districts, all other 14, have at least 2 or 3 locations in some of them.
So there's nothing in your district currently that's catered toward the homelessness at all?
Right. The only efforts we have is the 7 neighborhood councils. I'm part of the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council too. And only the 7 neighborhood councils are very active to do outreach to the homeless. We go feed them. We bring in some clothing. In Porter Ranch, we try to get them to do some little errands and serve them food. Like we go in and as a whole team, the council and the homeless, we clean the streets, and Bureau of Street Services come and collect all the trash away. So we get them to feel that they are part of the community to solve some of the issues in the district, and they are not a problem to live in harmony with us.
So you think homelessness is your top priority and is a top priority in your district?
One of the 10.
Okay, what are the others, let's say, besides the homelessness issue? Because homelessness is a major issue facing our city, and as well as our state.
Right. The other one is when we just had the 4-year anniversary, is the Aliso Canyon gas leak. 4 years ago, we had a major crisis because of the gas leak. It affected a lot of the people's health, and up to date, there is problems. The community tries to get a solution. However, the politicians bounce us from the district level, the state level, and the county level. There is promises of health studies, but again, when it goes to the council, they go, all right, we give you 10 years to get to sustainability. However, if the council is as skilled as I am, we can get things going today. I'll give you what I mean. Back in 2006, with the blessing of the management where I work at the Bureau of Street Lighting, we started a program to test bed solar panels on the street lights themselves. We have 225,000 streetlights. This is a big asset for delivery of solar. And I installed almost 100 units back in 2006 along Porter Ranch, which is active till today, and we're testing it. Citywide, I installed almost 1,000 units. And with the funding we're having in the city, we're going to reach almost 10,000 units installed.
Or solar panels.
All solar panels feeding to the grid. We are trying with off the grid, meaning no wires, no nothing. I installed some of these in CD7 at the time, part of a full sustainable street. And we were hoping to have all the sustainable streets everywhere.
What about public safety? People are very concerned about public safety. Besides, obviously, homelessness is a major issue. Public services available to the public, obviously, but also the public safety, police, crime, and everything else in your district. Is that an issue, or it's not an issue, particularly in your district?
It's an issue in citywide and in my district. And what I've done, and a lot of my colleagues at the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council and other neighborhood councils, we do volunteer work with LAPD, and we actually do some of the civilian work. What happened is LAPD is doing a great job. However, they are underfunded. And what happened when the funding got cut, they lost a lot of their civilian supporting personnel. See, there is like answering the phones or taking reports or photocopying.
Yeah, non-actual
police
yeah, right.
had been
back
done.
Office work.
Today, unfortunately, it's being done by sworn officers. If we're bringing this program gradually through funding, and we're a very rich city, we have money. All it is, the council office need to be active be at every single budget meeting and try to get their own share for the district.
Great. We're going to take a break.
Yes.
We're at the end of our first segment.
Yes.
And we'll come back. We're going to talk about some of your ideas.
Yes.
How you're going to improve your district as well as the city. So we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Սեր պայգամներ գազ թաթարմը բիդարնեք եւ բիդի վերաթանակ մեր հայդակրին։ Սեր պայգամներ, այսօր մենք կխոսենք local քաղաքականություն, Los Angeles City մասին եւ անշուշտ ընդրությունները շատ մոդ են, այդ մասին կխոսենք Մարոն Նաջարի հետ։ We were talking just before the break about some of the other issues the city and your district is facing. And what are your plans? I mean, what are you proposing that Mitch Englander for many, many years couldn't do it, and his successor, who's a temporary guy type thing, was not able to do it, and you'll be able to do it? Give us some concrete plans that you have that you're going to make those changes. Issue by issue, let's take
Right. I'll take it by the community issues where the community feels the council failed, which is, again, back to the Alicia Canyon. The people were expecting an effective closure of the facility. And they were expecting that overnight we're going to go solar and we're going to have off-the-grid system and full sustainable green. But from engineering perspective, and especially I'm a structural civil engineer, you need to set the foundation before you start building the building and getting all the way to the penthouse. So the Alicia Canyon, back in the 2006, the division where I am, which was called the Energy Efficiency Division, which still up to date exists, we were exploring with solar to grid, solar to battery solutions, little turbines that sits on the top of street lights. We even explored with the idea and concept of sidewalks, dynamic sidewalks like you see in Europe. Once you walk on them, it generates power. So there is a lot of solutions. We started with the ones we could afford, which is the solar panels to the grid. And with the other ones like we could afford, which is the battery-operated bus stop lighting. So what I did is the first bus stop lighting to be installed in city of Los Angeles went into Porter Ranch at the corner of Rinaldi and Porter Ranch Drive. And then right now we have almost over 1,000 solar bus stops. At the same time, with Alicia Canyon, we have health problems. I'm not a doctor, but we could work with the doctors to find solutions for and treating the people. At the same time, us engineers coming with effective solutions. As an engineer with over 10 years experience in solar generation power and in windmills testing, I don't need an ordinance to tell me to go study and come back in 10 years.
Yes,
all it is...
It's complete bureaucracy and waste of resources.
Right. Today, I have live data. It's all the way coming to the city hall. I get those with the help with a modem system that I designed in the garage using T-Mobile phone. And it's live, it's citywide. If we implement all this data, we can add more of the solar, add more of the roofs. DWP is very active in the program under direction of our mayor. And there is a lot of plans. I'm very active on the 2030 plan, the 2040 plan, and the 2050 plan.
Is our city as a balanced budget? I mean, I guess by regulation, you have to have balanced budget, right? You can't go deficit like U.S. government is and borrow money. So our city is pretty much balanced budget has, right?
Yes, I feel we're very balanced. And there is a lot of programs. Where I am right now in the transit lighting division, in which is the design built for all the metro trains, We're funded through Measure R and Measure M and some of the gas tax. So the funding is there. We're a rich city. We're a very
we
rich
have
city.
money that we just needs to be allocated correctly. That's what you're saying.
Allocated correctly per district.
Per district, okay. But is your district not getting its fair share of the dollars that the city has?
No, we're not.
Well, you're not. So you're going to fight to make sure your district gets the fair shares from the city.
Right. I mean, I deal with all 15 districts, so I don't want to advertise for the others, but let's say, without giving which numbers, there is at least another 3 or 4 of the 15 districts keep me and all my team and my colleagues very busy. Mm-hmm. They find funding through the art fund, through the gas fund, through you name it fund, and they do a lot of products for their council district. A lot of lighting system, a lot of active transportation system, a lot of alleys got converted to safe playgrounds.
Let's take a little bit local politics. Clearly, your district, had some guy who was there a long time, right? Mitch Englander had served a long time in his area. Now you're coming to this position. Hopefully, you'll win. Do you have higher aspirations to go to is this a stepping stone to a higher office, or you just be content with this position?
Well, options are open. Mm-hmm. Always options are open. And then Mitch is a great guy. I worked very close with him. And he tried very hard within the council until the time where he left the city. Mm-hmm. He always admired my vision and encouraged my vision for going a smart city. When I came into him with the concept, we need a smart monitoring for the gun detection because we have problems in downtown LA with guns. He went and got me the ordinance to start testing solutions for products to go on top of streetlights through triangulation, and then if there is any gun, police would know exactly through our streetlights where the gun went on.
So they will detect the guns in people's cars and
after you shoot a gun, through sound triangulation, it picks it up.
It picks it up.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to catch the bad guy.
Mitch used to call me every day and say, look, I need the first bikeway solar system in my district, which I got him. The orange line, when we designed it, you have a full stretch existing until today of all solar bikeways. Next thing, I had the other district call me and say, well, you did CD12.
Why don't you do it in our
district? You need to do mine.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
You don't live in mine, but we need to do it. Next thing you know, we have all these solar bikeways along the Freeway 5, along in Council District 3, and we're expanding.
What are some of the other hot button issues in your district and in the city, besides the homelessness, the special issue that the area of Northridge has with the gas leak and so forth? What are some of the other issues?
It drags back to the safety.
Drugs, okay.
Drags back to safety, yes. And the safety again, in multiple areas. One, to do with, we have a problem with drag racing and people coming in to race in our open streets. So
where's the police? Is the police stopping that to make sure people don't do that on a Friday afternoon or something? Or Saturday evening, driving back and forth on the streets?
They try, and unfortunately the racers are more advanced in technology than the police. The police are sort of now getting there. They just successfully did early this year a bust of a lot of these racers. The thing is, the racers use a lot of radios and watch out and the media to know when the police is coming.
So they communicate to each other.
Right. And the problem the police have is, if we videotape it, I mean, we have videotapes from Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council of actual racers with license plate. However, as a police officer, they have to be present to issue the ticket or do the arrest. They cannot depend on
somebody
a
else's third party
media.
Right.
So that's one. The second one we faced was attacks on the mosques, at the temples, at an Armenian school. And
It happened in my school that I was chairman of at Ferahian.
right. So that
It was
one
vandalized.
exactly. And that one I'm trying through my volunteer work the past 3 years through two portions. One, increased the civilians watch at night so that we protect all these temples and schools. And the other one, being active in the interfaith. Only like last week, Sunday, we did a joint interfaith from the temple, and then we went to a mosque, to a church for 2.6 miles. It included everybody from all the Muslims, all the Christians, and the Jews in solidarity. Yeah.
Fantastic. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have your thoughts on how your campaign is going, you know, where you are at this stage, and, you know, how you're getting your funding and so forth. So we'll talk about the actual campaign itself. So, Sirey Paygamner, Garsh Tatarma Vidarnik, Ye Bidi Veratanak Mer Haydakrin. Sirey Paygamner, այսօրվա մեր հայդակիրն է ընդրությունները եւ հատկապես Los Angeles City Council-ի ընդրություններն են, local politics thing. Just before the break, we were talking about your campaign. You're trying to run for the city council seat from your district up in the valley. And what are your plans? And when are you going to declare? I think you said in the break time on Monday. So tell us a little bit about that, who you have on your team, and what type of campaign you're going to put out to beat the incumbent.
Right. So basically, the way the city works, in mid-September, all the candidates would file the sort of the letter of intent, or what they call the Form 501. And
so you did that already?
I did that already. And in between, we do mandatory training. And Saturday, they had to walk us through whatever it is. So they feel this way by November 4th, Monday. If you feel comfortable enough, then you actually come and walk and sign the dotted line in which you are accepting to be a candidate. Once that happens, we have 4 weeks to collect signatures. Maximum 1,000 signatures and a minimum 500. And those have to be from the district for people to say, okay, we would like to see Asaad Alnajjar on the ballot. It's not voting, it's just to give me the opportunity to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
My campaign, I'm in the process of finalizing my team. A lot of the members are part from the 7 neighborhood councils. They feel strongly that I can bring in excellent leadership to the district, and with my innovation skills, I can bring the smart city features, a lot of the technologies to enhance our life in the district and along the line to the city. And they know I'm very active with all the religions. This way I can address the diversity we have and address everybody's need as one community.
Is the district diverse? It's a diverse district?
The numbers I've been looking at the past year.
Statistically, how's the district?
I feel we're like living in the United Nations building. Every country is represented.
Represented there.
Every religion is represented, and every segment.
That's pretty much LA.
Yeah. We are represented in CD12 especially, more than just LA. We have everybody represented, which is a blessing.
So did you put together a plan or not yet for your campaign? Because I've been reading some materials that your staff provided me. And I was really impressed with all the innovative ideas, which is very innovative, the smart features and some of the other, because I guess because of your engineering background, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, these things, if we can be accomplished in the city, citywide, not just only in your district, be a huge help for the city of LA.
Right. I mean, with the innovation, I brought in CD12 the past 10 years. I upgraded 100% of the lights to LED, so which is 22,000 units. What does that mean? Saving to the district 1.1 million every year in power. At the same time, reduction of close to 8,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide. So this way we can breathe better in the district.
Cleaner air, yes.
Cleaner air. Plus, I'm increasing a lot of the electric vehicle chargers on the streetlight poles. And when the builder was doing the new vineyard in Porter Ranch, through the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council, we introduced to them and implemented the idea of having electric chargers. When we just had the Saddle Ridge fire, unfortunately, our reverse 911 and our mobile SMS failed. A lot of the people didn't know until the people were knocking on the police and the volunteers knocking on their door for evacuation. So right now, last week, I designed a new street light, which we'll hopefully install within the next 3-4 weeks, to have built-in siren, so that if there is an, God forbid, another fire, the sirens within the streetlight will go on. And this way it will add to the resiliency plan that Mayor Garcetti had put on.
So you have really great innovative ideas for the city and your district. You think the other city council members will be receptive to some of these ideas? Because you're the engineer, you will be the only sole engineer on the council if you're elected.
Well,
can you, maybe I put it this differently, can you be able to convince them to buy in on these ideas and implement it citywide? Why not?
I believe yes. I mean, Mayor Garcetti listened to me and to many people like myself and many engineers. Mitch Englander in CD12 listened to me and allowed me to implement a lot of the things. And since this election, by the way, it's only the even number councils, it's not the odd. I have excellent relationship with all the odd number council, which will be up for election another 2 years. So I believe with that, I can put forth my excellent plan, and they will be probably rushing to see which council will get it first.
I see. So, and when is the election?
March 3rd is the walk-in person. However, the mail-in ballot, it's in February 22nd.
It's coming very close.
It's very close.
In a few months.
Yes.
And you're going to register by this Monday, you said. So, I mean, that's fairly close too. And what type of campaign you're planning on having? Are you going to go and fight a good fight, or are you going to make it more? Because lately the election's been very bitter on the national level, and we saw what with Trump, name calling and so forth. But you know, maybe we're a little bit more civilized in California.
Well, the last election, the special election, got ugly, starting with over 10 candidates, and with even the last 2 candidates in August. It was ugly. By nature, and everybody around me through my work know, I put a fight, but I put a fight with my smile. My first name means the happiest in Arabic, and it's the nature in myself. So the way I'm approaching it, it's through outreach. And my campaign, if you notice what I say, leadership, innovation, and diversity, it stands for LID. I'm going to put a lid on all the mess and the issues in my district, because I want to live in a nice place. And
safe place.
Nice, safe place, sustainable.
Clean place.
And when I ran for the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council, I wanted Porter Ranch to be the 100% green. Now my aim after 4 years in the council became CD12 to be 100% green, and eventually all the city of LA.
The mayor is not running for election, right?
Right.
Is there that's going to be an open seat for mayor's office?
Right, in 2022.
2022, okay, so you still have a few more years to go.
Right, and letters for intent for those, I believe, would be February 2020. So you're going to start seeing flood of candidates.
Because it's an open seat, there's no incumbency.
It's a hot seat.
It's a hot seat that's people are probably aiming. How well you know Paul Kerkorian, who's a city council member as well?
He's excellent, and I work very close with his office. And actually, I work very closely with his office to get funding for the installation of streetlights without cost for the residents through the CDBG, the development fund. Mm-hmm. And he's very excited. We just landed for him close to $1 million for his residents in street lighting. Plus, I address a lot of the outages for street lights.
We're getting towards the end of our show. I'd like to ask you really a crucial question. Why should people vote for you? Why are you different than the incumbent or anybody else? Why should they give you the vote to you or trust their votes to you?
I'll give you two answers. One answer, which is basically if you go today to one of the websites, which is the Nextdoor, and go back for the 5-6 years, you'll see the nature of the problems we have and the lack of services we're getting from the council office. They are trying hard. They are doing 100%, but their 100% is not filling the gap between City Hall and the CD12. Neighborhood Council is trying to bridge and fill in that gap, but there is a disconnect between the Neighborhood Council and the council office. So that's from one aspect. The other one, I think my 30 year of service throughout the city, through different communities, to the different 99 neighborhood councils in the city of LA, and to the many people in CD12. I volunteer with a lot of groups. I volunteer with the LAPD CPAB. I volunteer at schools with the Interfaith. I'm active with the mayor's interfaith program, resiliency program. So people already know my face. Maybe they don't know my name. But with the bulletin board, they will start saying, this is Asaad Alnajjar. This is the gentleman who we see in the parking lot helping a homeless. This is the gentleman we see at the market helping an older lady. And it's the way I was raised. I always was raised by my family to go out and help the people. We were blessed with whatever we have, health and education. Some people didn't have that. And it's our community, and we have always
so public service is part of you.
Public service is me. It's my middle name.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, we wish you well, and we wish you success. One last thing: is it a big Armenian community in your district?
Yes, and they are very active district, and they are very involved in the politics. They are very involved in a lot of the aspects. A lot of the Armenians are very active with us at the Porter Ranch Neighborhood Council towards finding solutions to close the Alicia Canyon or to bring health studies. Some of them, of course, active on the social aspect, in which bringing the schools up to speed, helping in a lot of programs. LAUSD funding is not adequate. I see a lot of Armenians volunteer for, and I'm very proud of them. I mean, the Armenian community is an excellent example, especially in CD12, in outreach.
Well, we wish you well. We wish you success in your pursuit, and hopefully you'll come back once you're elected to the city council, and we'll have another interview with you. Thank you so much, Mr. Alnajjar.
Thank you.
Good luck. Սիրելի բարեկամներ, բարի գիշեր կմաղթենք եւ այսպեսով կվերջացնենք մեր հայդակիրը։ Շնորհակալ ենք։